What's going on in the current real estate market? Are we going to start to see the shift in New Brunswick, Canada? I have gotten my honest opinion, so stick around until the very end and I will give you a bottom line advice as a buyer or a seller. Alright, let's dive in. Hi everyone, I am Koko Kenny of Cherry Blossom Real Estate at eXp. I am a real estate agent in Fredericton, New Brunswick. In the United States, they are starting to see the shift. So how that will affect us here in New Brunswick, Canada? Usually, Canada follows after United States. So first off, what is going on with the home price and home sales nationally? As far as housing prices goes, other than Northwest Territories, there were zero. Province in Canada didn't see increase in their home prices compared to 2021. We are seeing home value increases nationwide. 2021 was a hot market and 2022 again started like a fireball. Home sales have kicked off 2022 below 2021 levels, but the price growth has continued to set records. Why? With a strong demand meeting end-of-month inventory levels that are lower than they have ever seen. Actual monthly activity came in 16.3% below the all-time sales record set in March 2021. But the actual national average sale price posted an 11.2% year-over-year gain in March. And with the ongoing supply crisis, the other main factor expected to impact the housing markets this year and the next will be higher interest rates. While discounted 5-year mortgage rates have already begun to rise, a jump last spring followed by steady upward trend since last October and are now back above pre-COVID-19 levels. The Bank of Canada has only just announced its first quarter point hike in early March. Analysts surveyed by Bloomberg Economics see the overnight rate ranging from 1.75% to 2.75% by the end of 2023. That said, given markets are currently pricing in 1.75% by the end of 2022, it is more likely to be the later. That would make for 9 Bank of Canada quarter point rate hikes by the end of next year. On the other hand, we can't blame the national housing market entirely on these interest rates. Year over year, we are seeing even lower inventory levels than we did last year. Last year was unprecedented and this year even more so. And everyone is wondering, are we in the bubble? Is there going to be a housing market crash? And I get it. Some of us are seeing a flashback in 2007, what happened in the United States. But for housing market to crash, large amount of supply need to flood into the market, driving prices down quickly. We know that the inflation, the rising cost of living, and the rising house prices have driven many people to take on more debt and large mortgages. Experts say the Canadians borrowed $193 billion over pandemic. All that debt, coupled with increasing interest rates, could make homeowners to sell before having to renew their loans and mortgages. The fear is that this has the potential to lower prices quickly. Although this is possible, the chance that the interest rates will increase enough to induce a wave of homeowners to sell, leading to market crash seems unlikely. Banks already apply a stress test to ensure people can meet their mortgage obligations. Rates would have to rise significantly above 4.79% assumed in the stress test to induce such a situation. The federal budget has also implemented new policies to the housing crisis in Canada, which will likely impact the market in the way that prevents a housing crash. With inflation on the rise, of course, this is a concern for everyone. Every area on the country, I don't care where you live, we simply can't afford as much as we could last year for the same amount of money. However, despite the rising cost of everything to do with inflation, Canadian Real Estate Association still predicting the rising of home prices. Now here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, we are still seeing multiple offers everywhere with very motivated buyers with well above asking price without many conditions. Home buyers are well qualified financially, and there are many people moving from out of New Brunswick, as well as people here that need more space, want to move into a bigger house, or they want to buy their very first home. So we really don't see this kind of softening of the housing market here in New Brunswick like some of the states in United States are experiencing now. It is as a strong seller's market in New Brunswick now. But this hasn't happened overnight. It took us about 7 to 8 years to get to this point. The average price of homes sold in March was a record $350,000 and $655, which was up by 24.8% from March 2021. And I think New Brunswick will have a strong housing market for quite some time. New Brunswick is one of the top provinces in Canada as far as low housing market and the low cost of living. Now people can work from home. They desire to move to New Brunswick so they can bring out of province income. Maybe they are moving from a higher cost of living province and they can bring that income to New Brunswick, which they are making more than most people, or they sold their house much higher so they can offer more for the home here. So what should you do to sell your home in 2022 in New Brunswick? As I said, we are experiencing low inventory last year. This year even more. So along with higher buyer demand, you have low inventory. You are going to get the more likely well above your listing price if you price your home correctly. Last year here in New Brunswick, we saw about 30% appreciation rate year over year. And I will not surprise if we see something similar in 2022. So as a seller, you are still in a very advantageous position. However, I get it. You can't just sell your home and go nowhere. So a lot of time, you have to sell your home and then you are gonna be a buyer. And you are a little bit worried, am I going to find a home to move into? So this is one of your concerns. Just realize that you are not alone. However, people are doing that every day. So clearly there are ways to do it. You just really have to educate yourself. It is really all about the perspective. Yes, you are buying high, but you are going to sell high as well. Additionally, interest rates are still advantageous for the buyers right now, even though it is increasing a little bit. Because if you compare these mortgage rates to, say, the interest rates on your credit card or other loans, this could be still a lot lower than that. As for now, interest rates are still historically low. Do you remember around the 1970s to 1980 when interest rates are close to 20%? So it is really all about perspective. The interest rates are still low. Additionally, if you are worrying buying a house high, just realize home prices are likely to rise for next few years. So this is still a good time to purchase a home. If you are planning to move next couple of years, I recommend to just go ahead and plan it. Like I said, lots of people are moving from out of province and most likely cost of housing price will increase. What that means if you decide to wait, you are probably going to end up paying more later on. As a buyer, to succeed in today's market, you just really need to be aware of all of the changes that are going on. Understand the market you are intended to buy could be a little bit different than we are seeing nationally in the housing market. And of course, you want to have the right strategy to win in the seller's market. And you might want to do normal things like waiving as many contingencies as you can, coming the highest offer price that you can, higher earnest deposit. And of course, there are unique ways to get your offer won as well. Give this video a like and hit the subscribe button so you will be the first one to know when I post a new video. I have so much more to tell you about the life and the real estate in New Brunswick, and I will see you at the next video.